All right. It is Thursday, May 19th. We are late and it is all my fault. Okay. Mark it down. Mark it down. Totally my fault. But we are talking everything, all things, the Challenge All Stars 3. This is jury duty. Let's get into it. I am Kyle Petty. I'm joined by the beautiful, the incomparable Don Dunphy. Gina's on tour. She can't be bothered with us. You can find us on the socials, BB Jury Duty, because we are essentially, a Big Brother podcast. But, we like to challenge too. We like to challenge. It's my fault also. That's also my fault. So you're welcome. All right, so where do we start with this sucker?
Whew.
We had a lot of evictions.
Yeah.
This house did not evictions in this world. But
right. They're taking hit after hit.
One after another. After another.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off with that. All the untimely exits,
Yeah.
We saw Miss Tina leave. Tina left because of a hand injury. And they kind of preface things with this, right? I kind of wasn't surprised when they said there was that DR that isn't a DR that we just call a DR because whatever. There was that one DR where they were like, oh, and she said, oh, my finger was out of place and I just pushed it back in. And I was like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, okay. I'm like, I feel like we're going to find out more about that later. And we did. Her hand was broken and she left. So that was the end of Tina. Tina and her 3 stars.
Yeah, that would honestly. I hope Tina's okay. But honestly, my first thought was this is the only person with 3 stars.
Sorry, Tina. We're more worried about the stars in your hand. Just kidding. No, we're kidding. We hope she's well.
Yeah, love Tina.
Love to Miss Tina. So she's out of here. JEMMYE left due to an undisclosed health issue. Well, we assume
it was her father, I believe.
Yeah, with her father. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get that far.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Was it a health issue? I just assumed it was health. Were we actually told that?
I'm pretty sure that she said it. She called her mom. Her mom was saying that her dad wasn't doing great, and I think that she made the decision because of her dad's health that she just had to go. So
right.
Unfortunate, but hope everything works out.
So pre-elimination, we lost 2 females. All right, so that's where we are. That's what I'm done. Do you have any opening thoughts about anything that happened Challenge All Stars related? I have none.
No, I think I'm ready to let's just dive in,
Yeah, I mean, I want to dive in. My issue here is that you didn't watch All Stars 2. And there's so much that I want to say around it, and I don't want to be I guess I don't want to be you. I don't want to be a spoiler.
Honestly, I deserve anything that you want to say because I.
No, you're right. Well, actually, you didn't wrong me. You're wrong, Tina. She's not here, so I can't really hold you to that. Have you spoiled me? You spoiled me, but not like her.
I didn't mean to. I was just putting up our preseason first boot and winner picks, and in my winner picks, I spoiled something for you. Yes,
right. But it wasn't like a big deal. Like it was like mine. I really want to say things.
I just love that I spoiled something for you, but I haven't actually seen the thing that I spoiled.
Isn't it ridiculous?
It's terrible.
Honestly, it is terrible. It is terrible. It is a grave injustice to all things that are fair.
Yeah.
So thanks for that. So actually, you've empowered me. I feel like I have a right.
Go for it.
Spoil the fuck out of you. So all right. So The issue that I have with it is because, all right, so the way they are editing this season is as if MJ and Johnny are these amazing Challenge All-Stars winners. They are untouchable. They are this, they are that. Okay, now here's the real fucking tea. All right. That final, the first part of the final was bananas. And I ain't talking Johnny. Like, it was like really crazy. Like there was it was very physical. It was very mental. Like very difficult. Okay, I don't want to say anything about that. The second part, though, and this is where my problem came with this final, is that it was one of those where, as long as you weren't last, or as long as you weren't like last and second to last, you were fine, and you just went on to the second phase. But the problem is that second phase, like, everyone started equally. You know how we've had past challenge finals where, like, you know, if you finish in second, you had like maybe a time penalty or some kind of a delay. There was something that kind of held you back a little bit before you began the second phase, something to give you a disadvantage, and then something to give that third place person a disadvantage. Unless I missed it, we didn't get that in All Stars 2. We got, as long as you finished, and everybody started equally for phase 2. And phase 2, in my opinion, was considerably simpler than the phase 1. And this was not, and so I'm not really sure that MJ and Johnny would have won in a regular season if the final was handled like in a normal way. So phase 2 was literally just them eating, because, you know, eating and like eating gross things, whatever is native to that country. I'm not trying to be rude, but obviously whatever is native to that culture is different from what we eat. Don't cancel me. But I'm just saying, it looked nasty and people were throwing up. All right. So I can think what I think from my home, but they threw up. So if you want to cancel me, cancel them. All right. Because they didn't like it either. You know what I mean? But like, so all I had to do was eat and then figure out a puzzle, and they won. So you can kind of like, so my issue with this was like, MJ and Johnny were not even a duo the entire season. It kind of happened halfway through, and then TJ announced that you were stuck with whatever partners you had that day.
Okay.
So from that moment forward, they were together. But then, like, it's not like they were the front runners in phase 1. And then now phase 2 happened and everyone's equal. And now you just go running. Okay, so y'all ate fast and y'all did a puzzle. Phase 1 was so much harder, and like that success did not get rewarded.
Right. The way you're describing this, it makes it feel like they should have done things reverse. Like, it should have been the eating and the puzzle the first leg, and then the crazy bananas part of the final as the second leg.
Yes. I agree. Yes, it should have. And that's not what we got. So as everyone's talking about, oh yes, I'm intimidated. It's MJ and Johnny. And it's like, are you really? Like, should you be intimidated? I mean, listen, I'm not saying they're not contenders, but like, to put this air on them as if they are on the same plane as like a Johnny Bananas or a Wes or a Darrell, no, they don't deserve that much respect. So I don't know. So that's where I am with that. And there was so much of that in this episode, you know, because of course now I understand why Johnny wants to do everything she can to protect MJ. She's got a lot of trust in him. You know, Johnny has had a rough go in the challenge over the years. Yeah. And she hasn't had a lot of people that she can truly trust. And I feel like the people that she has found to trust now is really as a result of her success in All Stars, because these people, I don't feel like really had her back in the previous games.
Wow.
If you're being honest, would you say they did? I don't think so.
I remember Johnny having it pretty rough on the seasons that I watched her on. I don't ever really remember her having a great time.
No. Yeah. And granted, Zach was at the center of a lot of that. Yeah, Zach was really, really not good to her, and like that relationship was toxic. I think for both of them. Like, I don't think it was good for either of them. So no hate on Zach. Like, like Zach,
Right.
we love you. I bought a cameo from you. Like, don't even try it. But like, I'm
Right,
just, but
Yeah, I feel like Janae's had it rough in the game and outside the game too, though, right? I mean, she's faced a lot of hardships in her life,
Janae is a queen in her own right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Anyway, so in this episode we played Playing Dirty, which was essentially musical chairs, sans chairs.
Yeah, right. I loved how that was. It's musical chairs, but there's not a chair in sight.
Not a single chair. Not a single chair. The concept is there. Like, we're living and breathing the spirit of the musical chair. So there were balls thrown in a mud pit, and our contenders had to run. Our challengers, I should say, had to run through the mud and into the mud pit and like just retrieve the balls. Last one to retrieve a ball immediately in the arena. Then we had another heat. What was it?
They went from 10 players and 9 balls to then 9 players and only 5 balls. They cut it down real quick.
They cut it down real quick, but also slow.
Yeah.
Like, I actually liked how they did this challenge. Sometimes I feel like some of these challenges go on too long. I thought this was an appropriate length, and I'm so happy you remembered the proper numbers. So we went from like whatever the first number was, -1, just to get our loser, just to get whoever is the arena hitter.
Right.
And then we whittled it down one more time. And then we did the final whittle. Whittle. We went from 5 to 3, which decided, because this was a male and female heat.
Right.
So we decided the 3 females and the 3 males. I guess it would have been better for me to separate the captions in that way. But that is not what I did. So the women had their heat. And unfortunately, we saw Veronica. I had to look at the captions. I had to scroll.
Yeah.
I had to scroll around to see what the hell happened. So Veronica was actually the loser in that challenge. Which, do you have a comment?
She was really fighting Kendall for that last ball. She was really going for it.
I have so many Kendall comments, but I just want to get there. Hold on. Let me pull up my phone too, because I put certain notes on my phone. I just want to make sure I don't. Okay, I've already flarned us all. Never mind. Playing dirty. Can we get into this conversation between Yes and Wes?
Oh my God.
Let's start there. I also want to start with so Devin, from our previous challenge seasons.
Of course.
Devin Walker, he had tweeted that they had really missed on a prime opportunity to have a fantastic alliance name and the rhyming of their name between Yes and Wes. Yeah. And I was super high as I watched this episode. and I thought the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, that would have been so good. I can't believe Wes didn't think of it. The thing is, like, I'm sure Wes did, and he was probably just like, fuck it.
Right.
Because fuck yes, right? Fuck yes. Yeah, so yes pulls Wes aside to basically tell him, like, you're not gonna be running me, you're not gonna be telling me nothing, like, whatever. And like, but also acting as if he was going to be his friend. It was the weirdest conversation. It started so nice and then got hostile, like, so quickly, and like for the first time ever was not associated with Wes. Like, all the hostility came from Yes, which really surprised me, because like that's not what I know of him. Yeah.
I just feel like it's bizarre. I feel like he's so hung up on this Wes thing, and he's the saboteur, and it's like, dude, everybody that wins is gonna get to sabotage somebody. I don't understand why. Like, he used it, and Wes used it on someone that everybody knows he has a rivalry with. It's not like he just threw it on some random person just to fuck with them. Like,
right.
Everybody knows that Wes and Jordan have had their have butted heads. So
this is
Wes
years
got
old.
this.
This is years
yeah,
old.
yeah. And I was saying to you last night, like, it's not like Wes knew, oh my God, I'm gonna get to sabotage somebody. I really need to win so I can get this power. It's like he was lucky enough. He did well in that first challenge. He won this power to sabotage somebody, and he used it on somebody that he is usually enemies with, not aligned with in the game. I don't understand why Yes is making such a huge deal of this thing. Like, oh, Wes, he loves it. Sure, Wes loves to stir the pot. We all know this. But like,
he does love to stir the pot. I'm not exactly sure that this pot was stirred.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
It seems like the way Yes is acting, it's like this is all he's thinking about in there. That's what it seems like, at least the way they're like editing it and showing it to us.
With Wes. Just obsessed with him.
Yeah.
But honestly, you should be obsessed with Wes. Not even because you're a fan, but because he plays such a very smart social and political game. Like, he was playing a social and political game in the challenge before the other challengers were playing that kind of game. Like, he was the one that kind of brought that into the challenge. That was always an element in Big Brother. That was always an element in Survivor. But like, I really do feel like it was Wes that brought a lot of that in. Johnny Bananas had some to do with it too, but in a lighter way.
Right.
Everything that Wes has done over the years has been so premeditated. It's been so smart, very wise, very, very wise. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just great at this game. Everybody knows who he is, how he plays. He always, even if he doesn't win, he makes it pretty far most of the time. You know,
most of the time, yes, because he understands like the social aspect of it.
Yeah,
like, and that's so much of it. We have seen in so many other Big Brother seasons. You don't have to win these challenges to get far. You just need to play a different game, and he understands like the different aspects to this, and that's why it's always enjoyable to see Wes in there, because there's just a different dynamic among everyone, because he really does elevate the game. Whether you want to admit it or not, it's just true. Wes elevates the game. And with that, Yes says fuck you and your elevation. And sabotages him. Yeah, sabotages him. And MJ was also sabotaged, you know. Whatever.
What did you think of Kendall sabotaging MJ?
Didn't really affect me. I don't know. Some people seem to be very upset by this. It didn't really bother me much.
It didn't bother me at all either, honestly. Like, I guess hearing some of like the talk after, like from like Janae, let's say, who, had said that she was close with Kendall and Kellyanne, and obviously Janae is close with MJ. So why would Kendall use this on MJ? You know, like it was a little odd, I guess, but I had no problem with it. And I felt like the people that were, obviously Janae was pissed and MJ was like, why'd you do this to me? But like, what was this reaction from like Kayla and Sylvia? Like, Kayla's like covering her face. Like, who cares? Like, you should be happy. It didn't get put on you.
Right. And I think that I really do think that some of this goes back to just some of how the challenge has always been played. There's a certain level of like honor and respect, and there's just a different level of certain things here. Like, and it really speaks to even when Kendall said to TJ, "Am I allowed to pick a male?"
Yeah,
because they don't even see it as that's an option, because this is how the challenge is played. But a Big Brother player wouldn't play it that way, you know. That's what's so interesting. That's what's been fun for me rewatching the challenge, you know, because I watched the challenge with their mindset, and now coming from a Big Brother point of view, it's like, no, why would you do that? That doesn't work for you, so don't do it. Yeah, it's just different. Everything is different now, which kind of brings us into now the next part of this conversation, right? Because Kendall was so annoyed by the rest of the girls in this Treehouse alliance, which I don't want to stand this treehouse thing.
Yeah, miss me with this treehouse.
I know, like, yeah, no, you can consider me missed, all right, because I didn't even make a caption for it, okay? Like, I forgot all about it until I said it, and I was like, wait, it's treehouse crap. I don't even know who's in it. I know it's Kayla and friends.
I know.
The second you put Kayla in anything, I immediately discount it.
I can't. I know I texted you about this last night. I can't stand Kayla on this.
Which is a shock to me because you've always been a big Kayla fan.
I did like her in the past, and I cannot stand her on this season.
I mean, in your own defense, I think you've liked her for different reasons. I don't think you ever really. I don't really think you ever really cared for her as a challenger per se.
I think.
Am I right? Am I right in that?
I have found her to be quite cute in the past.
Right,
but
cute.
But now I'm over it. I'm over it.
Yeah. Okay. I hope so, because she's a trash bag slut ass.
and there goes any chance of Kayla ever coming onto this podcast.
I don't care. I don't want her.
I just said I
honestly, you could miss me with it. I'll miss that episode. I don't have to be here.
Yeah, no, you're true. That's true.
Hey girl. I mean, we'll hashtag it, but that's it.
You know, can I actually? So I do have the names of the people that are in the treehouse, and I do think it's worth mentioning who they are because we mentioned two of them earlier in this episode. Do you mind if I just run through it real quick?
I don't mind at all. Go ahead.
So it's Kayla, Sylvia, JEMMYE, Veronica, Tina, Ronnie, and Derek. But the reason I'm even going through these names is because we already mentioned that Tina and JEMMYE left.
Right. -2. Right out of the
gate. So the treehouse is already down too.
The treehouse is missing a few branches. One might say. So stupid.
I like it.
And I'm not really even sure that Derek, is a solid branch.
Right.
Yeah. I'd find that one to be a little dried out. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like this metaphor. I apologize to anyone listening to this. Stupid.
I love it.
I mean, I'm having fun. I'm not going to assume anyone else is. But yeah, I don't know. Derek in this Treehouse Alliance is just happenstance.
He said, I accidentally ended up in this room. So
fine. If they're going to keep me safe, fine. I'm not even sure that these girls have a lot of roots in this alliance. Okay.
Right.
Oh, roots. Isn't that good?
Oh.
Yeah. Listen.
I like it.
The metaphor is alive. Y'all chime in. So stupid. Yeah, so the treehouse, I don't know. Whatever's in the treehouse. Already lost 2.
Oh, it's just weird too because like I like part of the treehouse, but like hate the other part of it. Like,
so tell me who's in this again. I mean, I like John A. I like Sylvia. Who else do I like?
Well, John A's not even in it, actually.
John A's not in it.
Right. And that's that's part of the reason that I think John A and MJ, because I forget who it was now, but somebody even mentioned why wouldn't you go after the treehouse or blah blah blah, or so the treehouse is Kayla, Sylvia, JEMMYE, Veronica, Tina, Ronnie, and Derek. I guess it's just Kayla. I guess it's just Kayla that I don't like. Everybody else is okay. I just felt like, I won't even bring this up yet. I'll bring this up later because it has to do with when we eventually get to who's going into elimination.
There's no later. I mean, like, what are we going to say here? So we played Playing Dirty. Veronica and MJ lost.
By the way, MJ's knee scared me very much. He went down immediately when he went into that mud pit, and I got very nervous.
What's so funny about that is that like I was so focused on the knee that I wasn't even sure who it was at first. Did you have that experience? I saw the knee and I saw the brace and I saw the flarnage in the mud. And I went, oh my gosh, who was that? And then the camera cut away and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to see who has a knee brace on so I can figure out who this person was that like this happened to. And I had a really, really hard time like figuring that out. I I flarned. I tried to do like a really cute thing and turn off the caption as I was talking, looking straight at the camera, being a really good podcaster, and I flarned and I spoiled the authority, but that's where we are anyway.
Yeah. You didn't flarn
Um,
anything.
Whatever. Who cares? Who cares? If you're watching, you already saw it.
Yeah.
So Kayla and Brad was who won playing dirty. There isn't very much exciting things to say about Brad's win.
He was just good in this comp. Like, I don't know if people really were. He seemed to like be the first to a ball and the first out, like in each round. But I don't know if that was just like more luck that he kind of like was able to get past people. You know what I mean?
I think it's just one of those things that nobody was watching him.
Right, that's what I mean. It seemed like he kind of just was
Brad
able to
is just
get
one
in
of
and
those
out.
people that kind of slips under the radar. Yeah, that's just kind of like who he is and how he's always played this game. So like, so good for Brad. You know, Kayla definitely got more than a little help from her friends.
Oh my God, yeah.
There's
Absolutely.
a lot of ball passing, a lot of whatever that got her into the authority, but the authority was Kayla and Brad as our winners. We had John A. and Derek, and then Sylvia and Jordan. Sylvia and Jordan being two of my favies. You know, we love them. We love them. Do you have any thoughts about the authority here?
It's an interesting mix.
Kayla tried her little like, let me uncover people thing, but it didn't really work. This group was not sharing. I think they're on to her, which good, because I'm tired of her.
Right.
I'm always tired of Kayla.
She just there are players in this game on this season of Challenge All-Stars who have done some incredible things, won multiple championships. They are legends. Even if they haven't won a championship, they've been to multiple finals, and they've just had great moments in the history of the challenge. What the hell has Kayla done that makes her think she can walk around this house of all-stars and just like talk to people however she wants, boss people around? She's talking about how everybody's so old and this and that. It's just like, shut up.
Right. Especially after your embarrassing behavior during whatever season that was, with her and JEMMYE tossing Kaylee's shit over the fucking balcony. And then you show up for whatever that was. I think it was Total Madness when they were in that bunker. And like she was basically like fucking bananas while she had a boyfriend at home. She's like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad. It's like, well, do you really? Like, I don't know. I just think that Kayla sucks.
What was that other season? I forget who she was hanging out with now. Maybe it was Corey or something. She like peed the bed. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that because everybody on every MTV show pees the bed. Like we've seen this on Jersey Shore. We saw it on Floribama Shore. There's always somebody peeing the bed. So I don't really like think much of that. Sadly, sadly, I really like whatever. So there's that. Kayla sucks. So the authority voted in KENDAL and SYRUS. Whatever to this. I really wasn't surprised that Cyrus was the authority vote. This is kind of why he was one of my first boot picks. It's that social game. Unfortunately, just Cyrus just doesn't have it. Like there's just nobody that's really going to rally behind him, unfortunately. Even though everyone kept acknowledging that this man is like, oh, this is the best shape he's ever been in. Well,
right. I'm bummed that like they keep throwing him in there and stuff, because it's like I really like Cyrus, honestly.
I like him too, and he's a nice man.
Yeah.
I don't know. He doesn't really bother me. I think he just plays a nice, clean game. I put him in the same plane as Darrell. Darrell is just like, I'm doing what I have to do to get to the final. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry if that means that you feel burned. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, I just want to win. Like, it's just such an honest way to play the game, and that's how I feel like it should be played.
Right.
Yeah, I like Cyrus, and it's unfortunate that we saw him leave tonight. Yeah, it's too bad. Obviously, there was no female elimination as a result of all these untimely exits.
It's wild because that's 2 episodes in a row now that we didn't even have a female elimination, but 3 females have left. in that time.
Yes, and I love that now we are getting a replacement next
Yeah.
week. As a result of all this tomfoolery.
Oh,
Yeah, I can't wait to see who it's going to be. Who do
I
you want it to
know.
be?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't even
I want it
know.
to be Ashley.
Oh my god, could you imagine?
I'm hoping for Ashley so bad. I want it to
Bring
be
back,
Ashley so bad.
bring back like Laurel.
Oh my gosh, I forget Laurel.
Could you
Bring back
imagine?
Laurel. You know what? Since it's All Stars, can we talk about who really should come back?
Who?
I want to see Coral come back. You remember Coral?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Coral come back. And that would be such an exciting addition, you know, because we have
Yeah.
not seen her on All Stars. She absolutely deserves a spot there. You know, unfortunately, I think it's probably going to be like an Amber. Although Amber has not made an All Stars appearance, but I feel like she has the right to. She has won. This is an
It's
all
true.
finalist season. She certainly
It
does
is
have the
true.
right. So we'll see.
Wow.
I'm hoping for Coral. It's not going to be, but that's who I want. That's who I want.
Wow. I'm excited to see who it could be. Who
Yeah,
knows?
Me too. Me too.
Who knows? There are a number of people out there. Remember like Beth? You remember Beth?
Beth. Beth could be fun. Although Beth is more fun with Cyrus, and Cyrus is already gone. So, like, I mean, Beth is only fun with Cyrus because of that moment. Like, we didn't really get a lot of Beth and Cyrus moments like before that. But yeah, she would be fun if Cyrus was still in it. I would still love for her to come back. I would also welcome back Katie. You know, Katie has had a rough All Stars run. Her fear of heights and fear of water and all this stuff has really like played against her. So it would be interesting to see her come back. Especially since the next challenge is now math above water. That would really burn Katie's biscuits. So like that would be really, really fun if that's what she came back for.
Yeah. Just have to wait and see, I guess.
We will have to wait and see. We will. I don't have anything else in the challenge. I'm super happy. I love how this went.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? We got to get ready for Big Brother Australia.
I know. No,
Yeah.
I think that's it. Oh, I did see on the next on. This is the last thing. Looks like somebody leaves in an ambulance next week.
We'll see if they actually leave, though. Like, some people
We'll
get in an ambulance. Sometimes the ambulance drives away. Then they come right back like 30 minutes later.
Right.
So, like,
we'll
see
see.
how
We'll
it goes.
see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
But,
see.
but potentially another injury on our hands. Potentially. So
I hope not. I don't want to see any more untimely exits. All right. I want the
Yeah,
exits to be elimination related only. Okay.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. But
All
right. So we'll be back next week at 9:30 with the Challenge All Stars 3. Hang out with us in another 22 minutes for Big Brother Australia 14. And that's it. Find us on the socials, BB Jury Duty, and that's it. You know, thanks for joining us. Silly.